There's video of the crime scene immediately being tampered with right afterward, which is weird. Now, I know it's a chaotic situation. All the cops like ran and went with his body. Totally understandable. But, you know, there's people putting stuff in their pockets. There's a couple cops left behind that are like letting people video right there for a while and then being like, oh, you should leave. And then within days, but you have been out, as you said, looking at the Charlie Kirk thing. I do want to say before I ask you about this, it's a bizarre case. There is all kinds of like, I don't even know what to call it online with people speculating about this. It is certainly weird. It has been weird since the beginning. I try to be very careful with like where we go with this, discussing it publicly. So just like download if you can. Were you there the day after or like how soon were you there?
I was there the day of. After it happened. Yeah, I was in New Mexico interviewing the governor of New Mexico. I was in her office doing a story about she's a Democrat, a tough on crime Democrat. She called the National Guard. I won't go on a whole tangent, but she called the National Guard in herself. You know how everybody's in these other Democratic cities are mad the National Guard's coming? She did it herself because crime was so bad in New Mexico. So I was interviewing her about that just because it was interesting. Like, so you're the Democrat who likes the National Guard. You know what I mean? And so it was an interesting story. So I was in Santa Fe, New Mexico in her office, and she had CNN on when the video started coming up that he was killed. I think at that point, not killed, but just, you know, that he'd been shot.
If you saw the shot.
Yeah. You kind of knew.
Horrible.
And it was interesting. She was actually, she's a Democrat, but she's friends with the Utah governor. And she called the Utah governor right while I was in the office and was like, I just want to let you know, I saw this happen in Utah and I'm thinking of you right now, which was kind of a cool moment of like, you don't see that stuff on TV where you just think they all hate each other. You know what I mean?
It's human.
And she's friends with him. They were in some like governor's conference together or something. So,
what did you think when you first saw that? Like Brave New World?
I think I just thought, I think honestly, just to be totally, I was like, I got to get out of the governor's office. Like we got to go to Utah. Like that's what my first thought was. Like just because you know when we were doing the interview and I was just like, I was trying to be polite, but in my head I was like, we got to get like the F out of here. Like you know what I mean? Like how are we getting to Utah? Yeah. So luckily there was a flight and from Albuquerque nonstop to Salt Lake. So I was there like I think I got there like right after the sunset, like that night. Yeah.
Tyler Robinson is arrested 2 days later, something like that. This happened on a Wednesday. He's arrested the night of Thursday into Friday. And it was basically like announced by Trump without saying the name, I guess, on Friday morning on the TV. But when he's first taken into custody and the president has said, you know, his father saw him and recognized him and turned him in, you know, where was your head at that point? Like, okay, sounds about right? Or
so I was out there again working late nights and stuff, staying out there. And I had a source the night before who kind of told me like around midnight that they thought they had the guy, but I didn't have enough information to go on it at all. Like, and it's interesting. Some of the other reporters that I know from other networks who were there that I'm friends with were kind of getting the same information, but none of us were reporting it just because like something like that, you're not going to report it unless you're like, you got to have a couple sources and be 100%. But there were definitely rumblings like this was coming to an end. And then when it was Tyler Robinson, what did I think? I was just like surprised, I guess, that it was just a normal guy, like a normal kid. I think that, you know what I mean? I think I was thinking it was going to be like someone, when I say normal kid, just, I guess I don't know, maybe I was thinking it was going to be like a more organized thing or something, you know?
Yeah, because like it was almost like the tone was, all right, yep, there it is. We got it.
Yeah.
And then that's where it got weird because, first of all, there's video of the crime scene immediately being tampered with right afterward, which is weird. Now, I know it's a chaotic situation. All the cops like ran and went with his body. Totally understandable. But, you know, there's people putting stuff in their pockets. There's a couple cops left behind that are like letting people video right there for a while and then being like, oh, you should leave. And then within days, they're paving over this whole area. and changing the whole.
That was interesting, and I noticed that when we were out there. They were like immediately, like there were like backhoes and stuff. And I was just back there last week and went back to the spot, and it does look like they just, put new pavers in that area. But yeah, that was kind of strange that they did that quickly.
Have you ever seen anything like that?
No. Well, no. I mean, it was kind of weird. You remember they tore down the house for Koberger?
Yes.
That was also weird. That
weird.
That wasn't like the day after, but that was kind of another weird, like, why are we tearing down the house when there hasn't been a trial? But no, it was, I remember wondering what they were doing too. Like, I didn't understand. And I mean, I don't want to add to the conspiracy theories but even when I went back last week, I was like, wow, that was a lot of like construction equipment for just, it didn't look like they really ended up doing that much. It was just kind of like they replaced the pavers and concrete in one area.
Yeah, it just, like, if it's not some sort of conspiracy thing, some of the things, the actions that have been taken since then are just horrible PR decisions because they feed all these things. And, the 3006 bullet thing, I am not a ballistics expert, to be clear. I want to be very clear on that. But I know a lot of guys who are. And they're like, I'm going to have someone in here in a month or two who's going to go through this, who's a full-blown expert. And it's like a 3006 bullet from 200 yards is going to blow the top half of someone's body off.
Yeah.
Now, obviously, it was a violent hit, but his head didn't come off. It hit the carotid artery and a couple other in there as well. But, like, everything else was intact.
Yeah.
And so right away when they're telling us that, it's weird. And then they found the gun, like right below there.
In the bushes, sort of a wooded area. Yeah.
Yeah. It's like, how did he get it off there that easily? And the lack of transparency on the investigation hasn't helped, especially after, like, I guess it was Charlie's producer, the guy Andrew Colvett, who was like his right-hand man. He sends out this tweet where he's like, I spoke with the surgeon, and he said Charlie's neck was like Superman. The bullet somehow didn't go through. With anyone else, it would have gone through. It's like the magic bullet all over again. It's like, by the way, even if for some godforsaken reason that were true, before you press send, count to 5 and just read that one and say, how's this going to play? You know what I mean? Like, no, he voluntarily did that.
And I don't know. I mean, like you said, I got to be careful. You have to be careful. I don't know. I went there last week and I sat down with the sheriff and the undersheriff of Utah County, who are part of the investigation since the beginning. They're the local guys, the cowboy hats, good guys. I like them. And they went on camera with me, which they haven't done a lot of interviews. And they do not think this is a conspiracy, and they know everything. And they're like, look, if you don't trust the FBI, if you think don't trust, they're like, they're just two local guys. Right. Everybody knows them in town. The one guy used to be sheriff and now he's the other sheriff. Then there's the new sheriff who's been like sheriff for like 10 years.
Why wasn't there an autopsy? That's what I want to know.
Yeah, I don't know.
They didn't have an answer for that.
No. Did you see, do you know how he got on the roof?
I don't remember.
Look up, if you can pull it up, pull up my Twitter. This is kind of interesting.
Yeah.
I did a video. So I wasn't able to get up on the roof the first time I went, but now it's all been opened up. This last week I was able to get up there, but there you go. Yeah.
This is it?
Yeah, that's it.
Okay.
So
let me give this a little volume, Brian. Hold
yeah,
on.
I mean, you don't have, it's just me talking.
Able to get the shot off.
So this is my first time actually seeing the roof where Tyler Robinson, according to police, was able to get the shot off. This is, it was all closed off, obviously, when I was here last. They've got this fence up now, but you can still get pretty close. And so it appears he went beyond this fence, which wasn't here. And then all you had to do was jump over this little railing here, and then walk out onto the roof. And then on the other edge of the roof is where you could see the courtyard. But I guess before I saw this, I thought like he had to go some sneak way to get up here. And there's just, you see this is just a big open walkway, like where students walk back and forth between the buildings. I presume he just came up here, walked to the edge here. And then again, this fence wasn't here. And you could literally just pop over that other railing and then boom, you're out on the roof. Walk a little bit and you would have a clear view to the courtyard. In that surveillance video, when you see him leaving and running away across the roof, that's this area over here. And then he jumped off over in that area over there.
He jumped.
Again, you can recognize that from the surveillance video, and then ran across the parking lot here. And then he went over into the wooded area over there, which is where they found the gun. That's about as close as I was able to get last time I was here, but it's really interesting seeing it from this perspective again. The thing that surprises me the most is just how easy it was for him to get on the roof. Yeah, I guess I thought he had to like climb up on the roof or something. And for there to be that event there and for it to be that easy to get on the roof, really surprised me.
Yeah, that I didn't realize there was like a walkway right there too. That makes a lot of sense for him to be able to like get away pretty quickly as well.
Yeah,
because there is the surveillance video now. I think it's all blending together. I think it literally you see him like climb onto the ledge and then hop down.
Yeah,
right?
And then it's
not making that up.
And it's hard. You're not making that up. Okay. And it's hard because he kind of dropped something that is apparently the gun first, but it's blurry. That's one of the big things that I was asking the sheriff about. Like, can you say for sure that you can't fully see the gun?
Yeah.
And it's a rifle and it wouldn't fit in a backpack even if you took it apart. I actually did a story. It would still. That's the part that I'm a little like. And he's like, no, you can't see it easily, but it is there. And he dropped it. And it looks like you dropped something, but you can't fully see it in the video.
Right. What did they say? I'll come back to the autopsy thing,
yeah.
But there's a lot of other things before that. What do they say about the bullet and, the argument about whether or not that bullet could have ever left that little of damage?
They think that it's possible, that it's not, didn't ring any alarm bells to them.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
I really got to have, like when I have my one guy in here, that's where I'd rather... I don't want to comment on that myself.
Yeah, I don't. The thing with the conspiracy thing to me is like, and again, I don't know. I mean, that's the way I go into this. I mean, I wouldn't be up on the roof looking around if I wasn't trying to, so I'm not saying people are wrong when they think that or right. I don't know. This is just the way I think about it. I've talked to the sheriffs. You've got Kash Patel. There are so many layers. You've got the campus police. Like, if it's a conspiracy, like, is everybody lying or like, is it who's pulling the strings here?
Thank you guys for checking out this clip. If you haven't already subscribed, please subscribe and hit the like button on this video. It is a huge, huge help. And if you'd like to check out this clip's full podcast episode, that link is in the description below or right here. And finally, you can follow me on Instagram and X by using the links in my description below.